Our goal is deep decarbonization. We need to completely phase out fossil fuels.
Finnish Greens, who are the first Greens party in the world to support nuclear energy. Can you tell us a little bit about why you and the Finnish Greens support nuclear energy?
Well, it's been a gradual progress, and I would summarize this focusing on ends over means. So we want a deeply decarbonized economy, we want to protect nature, we want human well-being, and then you start to look at how to provide the energy needed for that with the least climate and environmental impact.
Yeah.
And yeah, as sustainable energy mix as possible. And then I think when you start to boil it down, at least in the Finnish context, that means combining sustainable renewables and nuclear.
So you use the term sustainable renewables. What do you mean by that?
Well, I think it's really important to understand that renewable is not a synonym for sustainable. So we know that, of course, all forms of energy production require land use, they require raw materials, so all this stuff. And especially in the Finnish context, most of our renewable energy is still wood biomass, and of course extracting biomass out of ecosystems has its harms to the environment. So I think it's very important to look at the sustainability aspect analytically and not just be locked to renewables as such.
So what benefits would nuclear bring to that energy mix?
Well, of course, it's very energy dense, so you need few raw materials compared to the energy output you got. Also, very limited land use compared to the energy output you got. Then you have the dispatchability, so the thing that it's not volatile in a way that wind or solar are.
One of the questions on people's mind is that nuclear takes a long time to build. We've heard a little bit about that today, that there have been challenges in Western countries with timelines of projects blowing out. How would nuclear fit with other clean energy projects in these crucial decades where we need to get to net zero to address climate change?
Obviously, we can do something about the project timelines, everything. I thoroughly believe that we can do cost-effective and quite fast scaling of nuclear power, but it's true, it's capital intensive and it's faster to build, say, windmill or solar panel, deploy that compared to a nuclear reactor. But I think what's very important to keep in mind is our goal is deep decarbonization. We need to completely phase out fossil fuels and build an economy that runs without impact on climate, or we need to be sequestrating carbon, not adding it to the atmosphere. You need to look at how to provide the energy needed for that with, as I said, as low environmental impact as possible. And I compare it to actually building a rocket versus building an airplane. So we want to go to moon. You need a rocket for that.
Yes.
You can build an airplane and you get pretty fast out of the air, out to the air, but you never get to moon with an airplane.
Never get all the way.
Yeah,
yes.
So that's kind of the way, the philosophy to think it that way, that yes, we can and should build renewables, scale them up fast as possible, but we should also have an idea, a plan, how to provide all the energy we need to run a sustainable, well-being society. And here you start to look at, okay, what about the volatility? What about the heat? What about whole energy, not just electricity we use today? So then when you do the math, it starts to look, at least in a Finnish perspective, that we do need nuclear in the palette as well.
That sounds very sensible.